So I don't think I'm going to be really funny in this video because there's nothing funny about the person losing their human rights, their ability to speak, their ability to communicate and participate in the exchange of ideas. See, I used to be what I would consider a true leftist, and the left used to be the ideology that would defend people against the big man. They would defend the little guy from the big guy, and the big guy could be religion, could be corporations, could be the government. And I hate to see that a multi-million-dollar organization is constantly cracking down on people's ability to speak. Imagine if the phone company would basically start censoring people, or the phone company would basically say, well, we don't agree with your idea, so we're going to take your phone away. You know, good luck living in a society without a phone. It's something that I really disagree with, and I noticed that it used to be the right advocating for censorship. Used to be the piety warriors, the ones saying, oh, Dungeons and Dragons, it's perverting the minds of children, it should be banned. Oh, Pokemon, if you reverse the song from the intro, it says worship Satan. Oh, Harry Potter, it encourages kids to practice magic. Like, just Google these things and you'll find like articles after articles back in the day, you know, advocating for censorship. Oh, video games. Like, every time there was a mass shooting, oh, it's video games that's doing it, you know? So nowadays is the left. Like, if you go to the Southern Poverty Law Center, you will find that they're advocating for companies to have stricter control over hate speech policies and to make sure that they ban unsavory people from the platform. You have organizations like Media Matters or Sleeping Giants or bloodmoney.org that constantly advocates for these internet platforms to become more and more of a publisher. And this has a lot of collateral damage. Like, it hurts people that are caught in the crossfires. And one of these people seems to be a channel on YouTube called Three Arrows. Now, I have watched a couple of his videos back in the day. I haven't watched his channel regularly, so I don't know if his content changed that much. But he wasn't violating YouTube's terms of service. Like, he wasn't pushing for hateful or agitational videos. Like, I know a lot of people who do much worse content than he does. No, what he used to do was that he would look at a channel that, was right-wing, and he would take that video and start debunking it. Like, he would actually, do what a lot of other people do, present his own opinion, his own version of events supported by evidence that he had. And there's nothing wrong with that. I disagree with him, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a right to speak or I won't defend his right to speak. I haven't seen him advocate for censorship. Like, again, I haven't watched a lot of his videos, so maybe he did and I'm unaware. But the thing is, one of his videos got taken down recently, and it's Jordan Peterson doesn't understand National Socialism. Now, I think this was taken down because of the YouTube's algorithm, because what a lot of leftists don't understand, when you have a platform that uploads thousands of videos a minute, they can't censor people without using bots, okay? And when they use bots, there's going to be a lot of collateral damage. This is why a lot of historian channels got shut down, a lot of leftist channels got shut down. And the thing is, people like Dan Arrows, they already have an audience, they have a community, so they can easily reach the ear of the company and make sure that their videos get reinstated. But a lot of people don't have this opportunity. There's a lot of little guys out there, like channels that have 5,000, 1,000 viewers, and maybe they have the potential to grow. They might be left-leaning, they might be right-leaning, doesn't matter, but, one day, maybe they will become a big channel. But they can't, because their videos also get targeted and, they end up being collateral damage. And Three Arrows isn't the only one. Like, I noticed that Mike Stuchberry also published an article on Facebook where he was talking against Tommy Robinson. And guess what? That article was taken down. And again, Mike Stuchberry is a person that has the influence in order to get his article reinstated and his ban taken away. But there's a lot of people who don't. The little guy. The left doesn't care about the little guy, who, as I mentioned before, the little guy gets to be bossed around by the government, by corporations, and by religion. And the left used to defend the little guy. Nowadays, it's like, well, tough shit. And, right, so he manages to create an uproar, and eventually YouTube reinstates his video. But then YouTube deletes his entire channel. And this is why having principles is important, like having a line in the sand, and you say, okay, no one crosses this line, regardless of their intentions, regardless of what they want to accomplish. No, this is a line we do not cross. And the reason it's good is that free speech is not to allow people that are horrible to talk. No, free speech is to defend you from being censored, because there might be the day when you are the one that is being censored. And I'm seeing this in Britain with feminists, right? Like there's a lot of feminists who a couple of years ago, they were asking for other people to be censored, and they were like, oh no, I'm not going to have a debate with you because I don't want to provide a platform to a bigot, meh, meh, meh. And nowadays, a lot of these feminists, they don't believe in recognizing that a man can become a woman. Okay, so they're called TERFs, trans exclusionary radical feminists. And now the banks are shutting down their accounts. They're being censored from online. They're being attacked and harassed. And they're begging to have someone do a debate with them and give them a chance to be on the camera. And it's kind of funny, by the way, because being feminists, like the only tools they know how to have a dialogue is to call something sexist and racist and whatnot. So you hear them say that transgenderism is a a far-right white supremacist concept, because it allows men to get the same the things that women have and stuff. But they have a right to speak, right? Like they actually should have a right to speak. And because they advocated for censorship back then, now it's turning against them, because you don't have control of the culture. You know, nowadays you might be the one riding the wave and saying, yeah, you know, like my the culture is defending me and whatnot. But in 10 years from now, things can shift. You know, it's the same thing like the piety Christian warriors that were advocating for Harry Potter to be banned. And they were saying, yeah, artwork needs to be controlled and whatnot. And now they're the ones taking the censorship and the whole bake the cake and thing. It's like, well, is it that hard? Is it really that hard? Like, do you have so little faith in humanity that you believe that if someone listens to your point of view and the other person's point of view, they will just radicalize themselves and be extremists? You know, it's just like I can't get behind that. You know, I really can't get behind that ideology. So yeah, I see a lot of leftists that are being targeted now. Kevin Logan got his channel demonetized. Like, I genuinely don't know. Like, I don't follow Kevin Logan that much, but I know he's a very progressive individual. You know, and I don't see what exactly could he have done or said in order to get his channel demonetized. And there's a lot of people on the left. David Pacman as well, he's suffering from the YouTube algorithms. And it kind of makes sense, you know, like YouTube is a company that just wants to make cash, right? Like they might have an ideological bias, but the primary thing is to make money. So they would rather make deals with CNN and MSNBC and the Alphabet Soup Network so that these companies don't slander YouTube, so that YouTube loses its advertisers. So they want to keep the mainstream media, the legacy media happy, so they don't write articles against YouTube. And that doesn't create another apocalypse. So yeah, like CNN probably says, like, look, we don't like David Pacman because a lot more people are going to his channel than they're going to us, right? Like, it's a market. They're taking the product away from them. Of course they don't like it. It's competition. You know, it's nothing new that corporations don't like competition and they're trying to do everything in the book in order to stifle it. So of course they talk with YouTube and they say, yeah, you know, can we make the algorithm promote us? And they do. Like, if you look at the way things are trending on YouTube, for example, Dan Arrows here, I saw him making videos that had hundreds of thousands of views. And he's never trending. Why isn't he trending? Well, because if you're CNN and you get like 10,000 views for a video, you're trending. But for someone like Dan Arrows, he probably needs to get 2 million, 3 million views in order to be trending. It's how the algorithm works. You know, it's not fair. It's not balanced. But hey, you know, like this is what happens when you advocate for more censorship and you want to promote authoritative sources. You know, oh, fake news are bad. Oh, they're pushing fake news. It's like, well, just teach people how to discern between fake news and non-fake news. You know, teach people how to think for themselves so they don't fall into traps like this. But anyway, right, so apparently after his video got removed, he got his video reinstated, and then he managed to get his channel deleted, and I think now his channel is back. Like, I sent him a message. I don't know if he's going to respond by the time I upload this video, but, you know. Apparently, people are saying that it's because of the symbol, right? And he tries to explain the history of the logo, It's like, look, Dan, if you're watching this video, I don't think you understand that it doesn't matter. Like, look, when you had the terrorists in New Zealand commit mass murder, why did Gab get punished? Like, well, they used the platform from Gab, right? So, boom, Gab is punished. Did the Gab actually incite to this? No, right? The thing with on Twitter, when people were telling journalists to learn how to code, why was that being punished and people lost their accounts? Well, apparently there were some white nationalists that were telling journalists to learn how to code, and because of that, everyone that tells them, right? We live in a culture of guilt by association. Like, it's constantly mentioned, oh, this guy did this and that, and he watched that channel. Clearly, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, the interesting thing now is when you look at these corporations, they want to make cash, as I mentioned, right? And up till now, when a corporation pandered to the left, they wouldn't get any sort of pushback, right? So if you have a company like Gucci, who takes a stance on a very divisive issue, for example, being pro or anti-gun, right? Like, most Republicans are pro-gun, most people on the left are anti-gun. So you have Gucci virtue signaling that they're anti-gun. They're not going to get a backlash from the right. They're not going to have, like, Americans say, you know what, I'm going to stop promoting Gucci products now. But the left would constantly give backlash to corporations. For example, there was this comic book that came out which had the depiction of the Joker putting a gun at Batwoman's head. And because of that, a lot of people from the left did major backlash, right? Or Assassin's Creed had a DLC which didn't allow you to have gay relationships. And there was backlash. And immediately the companies changed, right? So what companies noticed is that if you cater to the left, there is no backlash from the right. And, you know, arguably, you're going to get a lot more sales from the people from the left. At least that's what they thought. But nowadays, we notice with Nike, when with the thing with Kaepernick, well, apparently the right wing now got upset, and you have governors saying, no, we're going to not give you subsidies, we're not going to give you taxpayer money to make your factories here. And all of a sudden, Nike is like, oh, we love America, right? So you notice that the right is now starting to also do pushback against corporations that are leaning in one way or another. So where am I going with this, you may ask? Well, the whole thing from YouTube is like why they decide to ban people is to keep advertisers happy, right? And when you have this major news story with a journalist that is Asian and gay being beaten by white people chanting the no hate while they're smashing his head in, and these white people apparently care about minorities and they care about LGBT and whatnot while beating minorities and LGBTs, doesn't really look good, does it? Doesn't look good at all. So, you know, YouTube goes like, well, this is you're wearing the sign of these extremists, which are also labeled a terrorist organization by the United States. So that doesn't matter the arguments. Like, do you honestly? Why do you think the right wingers are upset? Like, do you think when you get censored, you get to put your side of the story? You get to come out and you get to say, you know, what I really meant, or look, this sign. No, just, you know, like, it doesn't work that way. These corporations don't care. And you're lucky you have a big platform so you can actually create enough buzz to get your channel reinstated, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people will not have this opportunity like you and I. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Again, I'm against all type of censorship. I don't want anyone to be censored. I would hope that everyone gets to speak and people learn how to make up their own minds. You know, I'm very biased myself. Like, I'm never going to say that I tell the truth, the objective truth or anything like that. No, like, I have biases, I have leanings, and I admit that. And this is why everyone should also go and watch people from the opposite side and make your own mind. You know, like, I watch The Young Turks almost every day. I read Salon, I read the Daily Beast, I also read Breitbart, I read the things from Fox News. Like, I try to keep an open mind and I try to look from the left and the right, because a lot of times both the left and the right will only present you a half of the story. And you need to read the other half and then use your own brain to think, you know, okay, where is the actual truth? Usually the truth is in the middle. Let me know what you think again. Sorry if this video wasn't that funny or anything, but I just wanted to get this off my chest. And stay tuned for my channel for more content.